You can build a whole camper van. Ford just can't fix that door, huh? We've been building out this van for the last 2 years based on all the suggestions that our followers left us back in episode 1 of this build playlist.
If you've been following along since episode 1, we appreciate you sticking around for this whole build, and we cannot wait to show you everything that we've put in this build. And if you're new here, welcome, and this is what we do on this channel. We teach people how to build DIY campers.
So in addition to the suggestions that you guys gave back in episode 1, we also lived on the road full time from 2015 to 2019. So we gained a lot of experience and learned a lot of things that we're able to put that into the projects that we built in this van here. So it's time to show off what we've done. I'm gonna show y'all the outside, and then we're gonna turn it over to Steph, and she's gonna show you the inside. So,
Rude.
So on the outside of the van, I guess we'll start the bottom and work our way up. Down here, we've got 2-inch lift from Van Compass, and then larger wheels and tires for these areas that we like to get to. This is an all-wheel drive Transit. So we do have a little bit better ground clearance now with the bigger wheels and tires. And we're gonna cruise around towards the front here for all of our lighting. Now, we have this flatline nudge bar that gets mounted to the bumper. And on that, we have an absurd amount of lighting that we've installed for various purposes. We've got our upgraded fog lights to amber fogs for snowy conditions, and these guys for big driving lights, off-road, of course, because these are illegal. And then these amber ones here for snowy conditions, and then these up here for elk. This way. On this side, we have the other half of the lift kit with the other 2 wheels and tires the same as on the other side. So we'll just keep going, I think. Is that right, Steph? Okay, yeah. Up top, we have our exterior scene lighting. We have these 2 lights. These are Light Force Rock 9, Rock 5, Rock something or another lights. But we've got 2 on this side, 2 on the back, and then 2 on the other side. And we've got them switched individually so that we can turn them off and on, you know, front, back, and side. Not front, we don't have any on the front. So we can kind of control them individually. Now on our Sprinter, we had some more high-powered lights that were honestly, they were too bright. These are really good for just working on stuff like right outside, but you can also just kind of chill outside and not just be just freaking blinded. These are a great like middle ground for that. We've also got our Arctic Turn windows on the front and back, as well as one on the other side. And these open up for some great ventilation and airflow. And they are acrylic dual pane windows. And so they actually do a pretty good job of staying insulated. We'll show you the window screens on the inside. So around back here is the garage area. Now this is technically the inside, but you know, it's easier to see on the outside. So in here, we've got our space for 2 mountain bikes and then all of our mountain bike gear storage. We've got our Unaka bike mounts right here so we can easily pull our bikes in and out. Tires just get voile strapped to the bikes themselves. They're not strapped down at the moment, but whatever. Up here, we got our helmet storage, and something we didn't show in any of our videos was how we were hanging our helmets. It's just a hero clip. We got a lot of questions about these the last event we went to, and they just clip into Unistrut really nicely. Affiliate link in video description below. So they'll just hang on there like that. Got storage on this side on top of our plumbing enclosure. So we got a 20 gallon, 25? 2020. We have 2,020 gallons of water. No.
20 gallons.
We have 20 gallons of water inside of this, as well as our water pump, all of our distribution, all that kind of stuff, as well as a electric water heater. I think it's a 7-gallon water heater. No, I think it's a 5-gallon water heater. It's been a while. We'll watch the video and then we'll put it up here whenever we figure it out. So we've also got a little spot for a shower attachment right here that can attach. We can hose ourselves off or hose bikes off. So that's pretty nice. I'll show you where we keep the hose for that here in a second. And then over here on this side is our power system. So we've got 270 amp hour Battleborn GC3 batteries down in here. wired into a 24-volt battery bank with all the Victron components to make this van function at a high level electrically. This is kind of the bread and butter of our channel, and we had an absolute blast building this, and we learned a lot of new stuff while we were doing this. And I just think it looks great. You know, the plexiglass is a little extra, if you will, but it's good to be able to show at shows when we go to them. The last thing here in the garage area is we do have windows back here, but there's really no reason for us to be looking out these windows most of the time with our headboard right up here. So we've got these covered up with Van Essentials window coverings. And then also right up here is our bug wall bug net. So it's a bug net right up here. And then these drop down for keeping everything dry. And then these parts right here, drop that down. These come down and zip up for a little bit of, you know, when it's cold out and you may need to open this, but you don't want to fully open it. You got some flexibility on how these work. So that's pretty much all there is to see. Did I miss anything, Steph? So let's talk about the top. Let's come over here for the top. So up top is 580 watts of rich solar panels. And although I'd love to fly the drone right now and show that to you, I crashed the drone last week, unfortunately, and kind of broke it a lot, and I haven't repaired it yet. So we'll do a little flashback right now of some pictures and videos that we took earlier this year that'll show you kind of how that looks. But there's 580 watts of solar panels up top that is recharging our battery bank inside, as well as a pneumatic air conditioner. It's the pneumatic 3000 DC air conditioner up there, as well as a single max air roof fan. The other thing that's up there is our WeBoost antenna. And currently we've got it angled back because it gives us an extra 4 miles a gallon, which we love. We know that people love getting better fuel mileage. And so we estimate that's about 4 miles a gallon, as well as probably 8 seconds off our quarter-mile time. So it's just much better when it's angled back like that, and it fits in our garage better. This way, right here. This box and this plate. So this is a flatline cargo plate. All it is a plate that mounts to the hinges of the... Steph, are you trying to trip Grace? Oh my gosh. So this just mounts to the hinges of the back door and opens with the door, like so. And we've got our knockoff Max Tracks right up here, as well as our Demo shovel that, this is actually one of the things that we took on our Sprinter. It's really beat up at this point. Probably needs to be sharpened. And then this box here is a Backwoods Adventure Mods box. And it just holds basically all of our dirty stuff. So like recovery gear, this is the little shower attachment slinky thing for the shower that's inside the van, water, shore power cord, jacks, basically anything that I don't really want inside because it like has a tendency to get dirty, lives in here. So that is that. Okay, did I miss anything on the outside, Steph, or can we turn it over to you?
You missed two things. So you missed the water port and the solar port.
Oh, water port, solar port, other side. Oh no, water port's right there. Water port. Water port's just right here. Goes right into the plumbing enclosure, which, as you'll remember, is right there. And then the electrical ports on the outside. So electrical was right there. And then over here is our shore power inlet, as well as our exterior solar port. Now we can actually put up to 1700 watts of solar on this, which is excessive, but something's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. So that's what we did. And we actually powered a bike race with it one time. That was kind of fun. We got a video on that too. But anyway, lots of charging here. So that's where this is. I think that's all right.
I think that's all.
Okay, I'm gonna turn you guys over to Steph, and she's gonna show you the inside of the van.
So the inside of the van, we'll start with my step stool because this van is way too tall now with the lift and the bigger tires and wheels. So it's difficult to get into. Okay, so inside we've got our swivel seats. So these seats turn around to just kind of give us a nice little living space. We've also each got a 120 volt outlet on either side of here so we can plug in our laptop, sit here and work whatever we need to do. This cabinet is a fantastic storage area. So we've got all of these Peak Design packing cubes, all of our camera storage gear, our first aid kit, super important. And yeah, just a ton of charging stuff for all of our camera gear for when we're going out and shooting videos. On this side of the van, we've got our kitchen module. And so in this cabinet, we've got our 12-volt refrigerator. We've got just a drawer that keeps our pots and pans, plates, bowls, that kind of thing. We've got a drawer down there for our trash can. We've got another drawer for utensils, and then the top one actually just flips out. It was supposed to be to keep a sponge in here, but we never installed that, so it just flips out for no reason. Then we've also got an induction cooktop. So this was something that we changed from the Sprinter van to the Transit van. Because in the Sprinter van, we had a 2-burner alcohol stove that we could just take out of the drawer, set it on the counter and cook with. And we opted for the induction cooktop this time because we have so much power in this van that why not use a little bit of electricity to cook rather than burning fuel. We've also got a pretty big sink over here. That's another thing that I changed from the Sprinter van. We had a tiny little just like vegetable prep sink, and we thought that's all we needed. It was not. It was definitely not sufficient. So we got an actual normal size sink here with a little strainer so we can dry dishes here. So pretty nice. I like that. And back on the driver's side, we have another storage cabinet that stores our composting toilet in here. We went with a composting toilet yet again. We had a composting toilet in our motorhome when we originally set out on the road. And then we had a composting toilet in our last van in the Sprinter. And we've loved it. It's worked out perfectly. So why change it? So we put a composting toilet in here. And then these 2 drawers are just for toiletries. Up here we've got our Arctic Turn windows, and Nate showed you those on the outside, but on the inside you can see that they're up right now for blinds. And then if we snap these down, that comes down and we can open it up. Hi.
And I can order coffee. 2, please.
Okay, why do you need 2? Or we can close this down to close the bugs out or close Nate out. Speaking of coffee, we've got our coffee cup, the heck is this thing called? Coffee maker. Thank you. Coffee maker is up here. We originally actually just had a French press in this van, but we've been using this van to take to events, and we've been taking our team with us to events, and making coffee for 4 to 6 people out of a French press just doesn't work for us. So we upgraded to just a regular old coffee maker. Put that here. The carafe for it is in one of these bins as well. So that's been working out pretty well. While we're up here, we'll talk about the upper cabinets. And we had some of these upper cabinets in our Sprinter van. We had a couple of them back over the bed, and just these storage cubes, just like we have here. And we like that so much that we decided to do all of the uppers in this van with that. The reason that I love that so much is, for one, it's way lighter weight, way less difficult to build these. And these storage bins are great for, you know, when we're at home, we can just take these inside with us and refill stuff, restock stuff, put stuff away, come back when we're ready to take off again in the van and have everything fully stocked. So they're actually really fantastic. I love them.
Steph, let's turn these lights on so it looks fancy. There. The underlighting.
What lights did you turn on?
The ones underneath.
Oh, these? Okay. So these lights right here is what Nate just turned on. So these are our ambiance lighting. Yeah, indirect lighting. So we've got lighting, just an LED strip light here. One is up here. And then, I don't know if you can really tell, but there's also one down here under the cabinets. So these are fantastic for late at night when we're just kind of chilling in the van and we want some light on, but we don't want the big overhead lights on, or first thing in the morning when we don't want to turn on the big lights. That being said, the overhead lights do dim. Bet you can't see that at all right now. Okay. Okay, what else? What have I missed? This is our bed. It's where we sleep. It's a bed. I'm actually kind of bitter about this bed because although I like the bed, I wanted to have the option for a dinette that transforms into a bed. I'm sure you guys have all seen those. We were gonna do 2 different types and have it to where we could swap it out depending on the type of adventure we were going on. But ultimately we ran out of time, we ran out of energy, and we ran out of give a fuck, and we did not do it. And unfortunately, I couldn't talk Nate into doing it, and I don't know how to use SketchUp, so we ended up with a platform bed instead.
And it's still a great option.
It's a great option. I do like it, but I do have to use a step stool to get into bed. Let me take my shoes off. So when I forget to bring the step stool in, this is how I have to get into bed.
No.
Not a huge deal.
No. So here, scoot over. So hand, butt up. That. So you just gotta back it up. Okay. There you go.
I'm not tall enough to do that. Also, I just got burrs all over the bed, so that's fantastic. Another thing that we changed from the Sprinter van to the Transit van is the mattress. So we ordered this mattress from Tachta, who specializes in like custom cut specialty mattresses for RVs, things like that. So you can actually order a mattress from them that has notches cut out that are perfect for whatever your specific use case is. Ours happened to be just a typical full-size bed. But what I really like about it is the mattress is actually, for one, it's really comfortable. And for two, it's really flexible. So when I'm having to sit in bed and also try to put the sheet on, it's pretty easy to move around, versus in our Sprinter, we had just a normal full-size mattress that I ordered off of Amazon. It was very stiff. It was also pretty comfortable, but it was very stiff to move around and maneuver, so making the bed was a pain in the butt. Our walls in this van, we decided to go with birch plywood for the walls, and we bordered everything with this black L-track. This looks super sleek. We've got these black screws holding the walls to the furring strips. Behind the walls, we've got Thinsulate insulation and a couple of layers of lizard skin insulation. So this is working out really, really well. We haven't slept in it, we haven't camped in it in the winter just yet, so I guess be on the lookout for that because winter is coming up.
Winter is coming.
So in our Sprinter, we just went with a typical click and lock plank flooring, and it was a bamboo floor. It was supposed to be super sturdy and everything. It did not hold up well to 4 years on the road with 2 dogs. So we did some testing with this flooring, and we actually took some like screwdrivers to it to see if it would scratch really easily. We also poured hot sauce all over it to see if it would stain or clean up really easily. We were worried about this kind of woven material just not cleaning well, and it actually cleaned up really, really easily. And since we've been using it for events and stuff, we've had people in and out of here with muddy shoes on and stuff like that, so it's actually worked really, really well. We've also got the L-track in the floor here so that we can mount. We've got all of our cabinets are mounted to the L-track. Our bikes are mounted to the L-track. Everything is secured with the L-track that's bolted through the frame of the actual van. And the last thing that I wanted to show you is these things. These are what we've just been calling the Blobbies forever. But they're just like a foam piece that comes in the Transit. It covers the side airbags. I don't know if they're truly necessary. There's a ton of debate online of if they're necessary or if they're not necessary. So we decided to keep them just in case they were necessary for the airbags to properly work. But we wanted to cover them because they were ugly. And so we just covered these in fabric, and the initial plan was to cover these in fabric. We put a grommet in here so that we could get to the little plastic piece that holds these in, but that did not work at all. And so these are kind of actually just like held in place by everything else that's around it. We made the wood fit really, really tight to these. So they're in there, they're not going anywhere, but they're definitely not held in with the plastic clip anymore. They're probably more secure than they were with the plastic clip.
If the airbag went off, they would for sure come out though.
I think that's the point.
And we have to say that for legal reasons.
I think that's the point.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool. Okay, we agree. All right, that's the van. The only thing that we hired out in this entire build was actually our window tinting and the alignment after we did the lift kit. So I would love for you guys to guess in the comments how much this van cost for this entire build. Remember, this is a no expense spared kind of build. This was not a budget build. But next week I'm going to be putting out a full video cost breakdown on everything that went into this build at retail cost, not including any of our labor, because I think that would end up making it cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it took us so long.
If I paid myself minimum wage, I think it'd be a $1.5 million build.
So leave your guesses in the comments below, and yeah, I'll let you know next week.
Does that figure include or exclude the cost of the van?
It includes the cost of the van.
Okay, and including or excluding the alignment and the window tinting?
Including.
Including, okay. PFM window tinting and one-off performance for the alignment. What else? Is that it?
That's it. That's everything that went into this van, I think.
That's the whole van. It was super awesome to like have everybody along for this whole process. I think I know for a fact it's the most in-depth video or like series that we've ever done. And I'm really proud of how the van turned out and how the series like turned out. So thank all y'all for like watching and everything like that. Also, thanks to all of the sponsors that made this free for all of you. You know, Battleborn Batteries is our main channel sponsor, and without their help and without the help of a lot of the other sponsors who sponsored the individual projects, we couldn't have done this. We couldn't have done it for free for all of y'all. So special thanks to all of them. That was great. And for all of you watching every single week. So that's why we do this. We wouldn't do this if nobody was watching. So I think that's all. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for the tour. Thanks for videoing Grace. And we'll see you next time. I can't reach. It's easier to do this from inside.
There's a burr on the seat. Burrs everywhere.
Why did I choose to do that from the outside? Wait, does this work? Oh, there it was. Dun, 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 dun.
Good job.